Mode 1.
A lot of people wanted me to do this video, share some of my thoughts about Tavis Smiley. Here's what makes this personality interesting. When I talk about a lot of guys who have been targeted by the Me Too movement, I only know about them through the media, or at best they might be friends of friends, but I don't really know them truly on a personal level. I know Tavis Smiley. He went to school with me. We both went to Indiana University. He's in my fraternity, Kappa Alpha Psi. We had many conversations. Not so much in, say, the last 10 years. Our conversations have been sporadic. But I know Tavis Smiley very well. So he's probably one of the few people that's been targeted by the Me Too movement that I know very well. I know him personally. Here's the thing. I'm going to try not to be too lengthy, too detailed, because I've already spent a lot of time talking about that me versus AMS comparison. But here's the deal, man. The most controversial aspect about his case has to do with what's known as the PBS moral clause. The PBS moral clause, which basically states in simple terms, I'm not going to give you the exact verbiage of it, but in a nutshell, PBS and some Hollywood media and entertainment related companies have a morals clause. Even some non-media and entertainment related entities have a morals clause. What a morals clause means is that if you're affiliated with us, you work for us directly, you collaborate with us, or you just affiliate with us and somehow, you can't exhibit any behavior in your professional life or personal life that casts us in a bad light. That's what a morals clause is. So if I'm the CEO of XYZ Corporation and I hire you to work for my company and you have to sign a morals clause, what that basically means is even if you're doing your work at a satisfactory level, your actual work-related responsibilities, if you go out and start using cocaine and it becomes publicly known, or you were accused of domestic violence by your wife or significant other and it becomes publicly known, or you had flirtations with a girl that was underage, even if you didn't have sex with her, you just had flirtatious interactions with her, and it becomes publicly known, I can fire you just based on that. Even if your work otherwise was satisfactory, if you do anything in your professional life or personal life that makes my company, the one I run, look bad, I have the right to fire you. Or if you're not a direct employee of mine, which is the case with PBS and Tavis, he wasn't so much a direct employee of PBS. They more so had what was more so known as a collaboration. in association with each other, collaboration. Yeah, when there's a morals clause in place, you can be either let go, fired if you're a direct employee, or the person can separate the distance because they don't want the dark cloud of your controversies to negatively affect their bottom line. And see, this is what all of you need to understand, even if you're working for a company that doesn't have a morals clause. Like a lot of guys try to challenge me when I tell them, don't get laid where you get paid. I don't know how many times I've told guys. I say, ideally, you should never get laid where you get paid. And some guys will understand it and say, okay, I understand, Alan. But I've had other guys say, well, man, Alan, I work like 50, 60 hours a week. So most of the women I come in contact with are at work. And a lot of them are even flirtatious towards me. You telling me I should just ignore these women, even if they calling me handsome and sexy and flirting with me? For the most part, yeah, I'm saying yes. And here's why. Because if you and a coworker of yours, or you and a business colleague of yours, start fucking, let's say it's consensual. You didn't pressure the woman to give you any pussy. She chose to. Y'all start fucking. But let's say after 3 months, y'all get into a big argument, and she brings your personal drama into the office and starts yelling names at you in the office. You know how a lot of women can get dramatic and animated and theatrical? If I'm your boss, do you think I'm going to want to keep you employed? I mean, really, do you think I'm going to want to keep you employed? You bringing personal life drama into my company? No, I'm going to want to get rid of you and her. I'm going to want to get rid of you and her. I'm going to be like, both of y'all got to get the fuck out of my company. I don't want this drama in my company. And that's why I always tell guys, man, ideally, you should not get laid where you get paid, man. Because companies are always going to look out for their bottom line. That's what if you didn't realize this already, that's what all this sexual harassment laws and stuff is about. Y'all might look at it as mechanisms to just protect women. No, it ain't about protecting women. It's about company. When it comes to company guidelines and stuff, now there's some things to do with dealing with women that fall under the legal realm, like rape and date rape, sexual assault. There's other stuff that falls under just the business guideline realm, where you're not really committing a crime, but you're violating a company policy. Now, when it comes to that latter category, because like this case with Tavis, he didn't commit a crime with these women, like rape or date rape or anything like that. His case was civil. His was a civil lawsuit. It wasn't a criminal lawsuit like Harvey Weinstein. His was a criminal lawsuit. He was accused of raping women, date raping women. Tavis was more of a civil lawsuit. When it comes to business-related policies, man, companies are always going to look out for their bottom line, period. Always. If they have an employee that does anything that casts a bad light on them, as much as they can, they're going to want to get rid of your ass. Because they don't want you costing them money and customers and clients. They're going to get rid of your ass. Now, Tavis' argument was, here was the deal. He got accused by 6 women. 2 of the 6 women accused him of pressuring them to have sex with him in order to keep their jobs. Well, they said they felt compelled to have sex with him. They felt like if they didn't have sex with him, they would lose their jobs. The other 4 women he didn't have sex with, but they just accused him of repeatedly telling sexually explicit, X-rated jokes at work that made them feel uncomfortable. He denies on both ends. He said when he cracked these X-rated jokes, explicit jokes, that at the time these women never expressed that they were uncomfortable, which, if he's telling the truth, he does probably have a valid point. I always say that women, if something makes them feel uncomfortable, they need to speak up at that time. But realistically, I know a lot of women aren't. But they need to speak up at that time. So I think that the four women who accused him of cracking X-rated jokes that made him feel uncomfortable, to me, that's bullshit. So when it comes to that side of his case, I'm, for the most part, on Tavis' side. I think that those accusations are bullshit. As far as the two women that said they agreed to have sex with him because they felt like if they didn't have sex with him, they would lose their jobs. See, that's where I got to put some blame on Tavis, man. I've always said, man, number one, I don't think you should ever get laid where you get paid. But what have I always said emphatically? You should never, ever, 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 ever have sex with a subordinate. Ever. Somebody you have power over. Anybody that you have the ability to fire, you should never, ever, ever have sex with them. Ever. Like ever. If you're in a position where you have the power, influence, and authority to terminate someone, fire someone, you should never, read my lips, never, ever, 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 ever have sex with them. The only exception would be if you're married to them. Like your wife, you and your wife, I don't know, own a restaurant together or something like that. That would be an exception to that rule. But no, man. Tavis was their boss, man. And even though he says it was consensual, man, there's no such thing as a consensual sexual relationship between a boss and a subordinate. There's no such thing. And Tavis, with all due respect to my fraternity brother and somebody I know personally, man, he fucked up. He should know better than that. There's no such thing as a consensual sexual relationship between a boss and a subordinate. No such thing. Fellas, don't get laid where you get paid. And if you hard-headed enough to still go ahead and try to get laid where you get paid, then just be willing to accept whatever consequences and repercussions come your way. It's that simple. Don't whine about any consequences or repercussions that come your way. Because that is a risky move. That is a risky move, man. Do you know, even before like the Me Too movement and all that, some women in my life, I tell you, I remember back in the late 80s, early 90s when there was a couple women that wanted me to fuck them that I work with, and I actually turned them down. And they were like surprised, like, you don't want to sleep with me? And I would tell them at that time, I'll say, I don't get laid where I get paid. And they'd be like, really? Get out of here. I'd be like, no, I'm serious. Now, I have done it a few times, but each time I regret it. I think I've done it at most like 3 times. I went ahead and had sex with a woman. I remember there was one part-time job I had in Bloomington, Indiana, and I had a coworker. I had a telemarketing job, and I slept with a fellow telemarketer. So, but that was like kind of a bullshit job. And, well, you know, the last time, I've talked about before, the last time I get caught up where I experienced some consequences, I was working, this was around 2006? Yeah, 2006. I had a job, and a woman offered to give me a blowjob at work, and I let her do so. And we would have been fine, but her big mouth ass went and told her boss, thinking her and her boss were cool, because her and her boss, I guess, used to talk a lot. She thought they were like this. You ain't never like this with your boss. She thought they were cool, and she told her boss that she sucked my dick. Then when she realized her boss didn't approve of that, then she tried to lie and make it seem like I pressured her to suck my dick. But it turns out there was a hidden security camera at the place where she sucked my dick. So they had it on video. They couldn't hear any of the audio, but they had it on video, and they could tell on the video that I did not pressure her or twist her arm to do it, that she voluntarily did it. And bottom line, we both got fired. The bad news for me was I got fired, but the one consolation prize was she got fired too. She got fired too. It wasn't a one-sided deal. Both of us got fired. So man, don't get laid where you get paid. Get it, got it, good. I'm going to have a Patreon exclusive live stream on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. If you're a Patreon subscriber of mine, I will see you then. For those others, have a great weekend. I'm out.
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
Yes, sir.
Who's the king?
Alan, you're the king.
Say it again.
Alan, you're the king. You're dominating me.
Say it again.
Alan, you're dominating me right now. Mode 1.
Mode 1.
Daddy, can I go, please? You're the king.
Say it again.
Oh, king. Oh, you're the fucking king. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You're the king, Alan.
AKA the king of verbal seduction. You know, it's the tone of your voice, how seductive your intonations are, the vibrations that you could just reach out over the phone lines and stroke a woman's breast just by the sound of your voice, how you could make her pussy so wet just by the sound of your voice. That's actually very hot.
So you said my show was what?
I said your show is powerful.
Oh, say it again.
Your show is powerful.
I bet the king would fuck me really good.
Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie.
Oh, yeah. Who's the king?
Alan Roger Currie. The king.
The king.
The king.
I have to agree with you on the communication piece, because I actually did take a session with Alan Roger Currie, and he gave me a line that I did not think was going to work, and it worked. And I was like, what the fuck?
Oh my God!
Man, he's the master. He's the master of the verbal seduction. He got that communication piece down pat.
It really worked.
Yeah.
It just simply worked, and I just didn't think it was going to work at all.
Verbal seduction, man. I'm like, clearly, this guy's the Michael Jordan of seduction. Like, come on now.